Every Sunday, Rebecca has dinner with her parents. Family therapists would describe this as healthy family bonding, regular connection across generations. But watch more closely. Rebecca isn't participating in this dinner. She's performing in it. Her mother asks about work, and Rebecca delivers what media researchers would call a highlight reel. Promotions, praise, big projects. All factually true but curated specifically for this audience. Her mother's face shows pride, and Rebecca's face shows a micro-response to that pride. She's not feeling validated by her mother's approval in the way a person with an integrated psyche would. She's receiving data that the performance is succeeding. That's the only form of validation she can process. Her father asks about her boyfriend David, specifically about marriage prospects. Rebecca laughs with mathematical precision. Not too much, not too little, and delivers a response that's calibrated to their expectations. She mentions David has been talking about looking at rings. This isn't true. David hasn't mentioned rings, but Rebecca has sensed it's what her parents want to hear, and in the absence of any authentic truth to express, she defaults to giving audiences what they want. Her sister Emma is also at dinner, and Emma represents something psychologically significant. Emma dropped out of college to pursue art, struggles financially, and has been dealing with depression. When Emma mentions her depression at the table, the atmosphere shifts. Everyone becomes uncomfortable. And Rebecca's persona immediately loads the appropriate program. Concerned but optimistic older sister. She suggests therapy, using phrases that mental health professionals would recognize as supportive and appropriate. But Emma responds with something unexpected. She looks at Rebecca with an expression researchers studying facial recognition would categorize as pity, and says she'd rather be depressed, and know she's depressed than be whatever Rebecca is, and not even know it. This statement represents a direct challenge to the persona. Emma has seen through the performance to the void beneath it. The table goes silent. Rebecca's response is revealing. She makes a joke, diffusing the tension, redirecting attention away from the uncomfortable truth Emma has named. The performance stabilizes. But something has been said that can't be unsaid. Later, driving home alone, Rebecca replays the moment. Cognitive psychologists would note that she's engaging in rumination, but notice what she's ruminating about. She's not processing hurt feelings or questioning her relationship with her sister. She's trying to understand what Emma meant by whatever you are. And the question leads to that familiar void. Rebecca pushes it away and begins planning tomorrow's performances. The calculation never stops because stopping would mean confronting the emptiness. It happens on a Tuesday afternoon during Rebecca's 4th consecutive meeting. She's been transitioning seamlessly between different versions of herself all day. Executive Rebecca. Collaborative colleague Rebecca. Mentoring younger employees Rebecca. And then, mid-sentence in that 4th meeting, something breaks. Neuropsychologists might describe this as cognitive overload. The system responsible for maintaining multiple social performances has been running at maximum capacity for hours, and it's beginning to glitch. Rebecca loses track of which performance she's supposed to be delivering in this particular meeting. Is this the context where she's cautiously skeptical or optimistically supportive? The persona momentarily can't load the right program. She excuses herself to the bathroom. Her breathing is rapid. Her hands are shaking. Clinical psychologists might diagnose this as a panic attack. But notice what's absent even in this moment of crisis. There's no self-experiencing panic. There's just the panic itself, disconnected from any coherent identity having the experience. That evening, David notices she seems distant. This is a pattern researchers studying relationships would recognize. The partner senses emotional absence and tries to create connection. David asks what's wrong, and something unprecedented happens. Rebecca, attempting to perform vulnerability, accidentally stumbles into truth. I don't know who I am. The words surprise both of them. David hears this as a breakthrough, finally accessing the real Rebecca beneath her defenses. But watch Rebecca's face. She doesn't know what she means by what she just said. She has no framework for understanding or articulating this sudden glimpse of the void. The persona tried to perform authenticity and accidentally revealed the actual absence of self. Over the following days, Rebecca begins noticing things she's somehow never noticed before. The constant exhaustion isn't just physical tiredness. It's the exhaustion of running multiple social programs simultaneously with no rest, No moment of simply being rather than performing. She finds herself unable to make simple decisions without external reference points. What movie to watch alone? What food to order? What to do on a free Saturday? Every question reveals the void. Most disturbingly, she sometimes finds herself crying without knowing why, or even whether the crying is authentic. The persona is fracturing, but there's nothing underneath to catch her because there's never been anything underneath. This is what Jung warned about. When you identify completely with your persona, there's no use separate from the social performance. And when the performance fails, you don't discover your true self. You discover there is no true self, just emptiness where a person should be. Jung spent decades studying cases like Rebecca's, and his conclusion was both clinical and compassionate. The persona is not the enemy. Social adaptation is necessary for human functioning. The tragedy comes when the persona becomes the totality of identity, when there's no authentic self beneath the mask making conscious choices about when and how to wear it.